All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nerf Surf and Turf delayed cast here, where we're going to look in detail at what's happening around the world. So, as of now, it does look like the New World has stabilized. We're not seeing any change really in any direction whatsoever. Um, I did mention, I did mention, I think in one of the side chats, the first time I've ever seen somebody rescue a partner by taking over a double wheat, a starving partner by taking over a double wheat. Don't know what how that happened or what that's about, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Power of Us is very weak. I believe he's gaining back. Yeah, he's gaining back morale now, so he's no longer in a tailspin. It doesn't look like. Um, so his allies have got to be feeding him. Um, Again, just kind of surprising that they're not giving him a few territories, but they're not. So, they know what they're doing, I guess. Interesting stuff down here. I think the surprise that I was not expecting was Morocco. Cheeky Morocco taking over 4 territories down here that I'm quite sure Spain and France and Italy had their eye on, because they're trying to balance out against this Eastern Central power that is basically bonkers at this point. You can see now Hemland has come down and taken over all of eastern Libya, part of western Libya, and now is eating into Egypt here. Got himself a real nice double wheat over here, and is also just continuing to march in. There's nothing that Egypt can do now. There's nothing there of significance. So it's basically a march to the sea right now for Romania. That is huge. That's really, really big. You can see over here we do have Ukraine coming down, so that's Eastern Central power coming down. And then over here we have cheeky little Morocco over here with a territory taken. Somehow lost this, probably traded it back. And then over here we do have Egypt still hanging on to a couple territories down here. 43, I wondered why there was, I mentioned that early on, why are there so many guys in this back territory? And the fact is they were never really doing much. And now they will do something. Now they're forcing these armies to send really, really big armies down into this corner if they want to take over everything and end this war. But the overall strategy of sitting and not doing much, I don't think has really served Egypt well. I think you need to be proactive, move those armies out into the board. One of the things I've talked about is that you have to know what to leave in your back country. And if you're just leaving big stacks everywhere, then you're leaving a lot of power on, I'd say leaving a lot of power off the board, really. You're not active with it. You're not doing anything with it. So while Silverstar is the last player in the game, he is also the least active of these 3. Really didn't do much at all except for kind of threaten back and forth and do spy stuff over here with Arabia. But again, he's having his day of action, but it's not a very happy day. You can see Caucasus has taken over this double coal here. That's a pretty big seizure. As in seizing stuff, not as in having it spasming around on the floor with a seizure. That's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, you can see what's going on up north here is we do have something that's been happening over the entire map. People attacking AI. So we're kind of coming after some of these AIs here. You can see Romania cannoning in here, cannoning, taking over the AI over here. We did see earlier Caucasus taking over this AI over here. That was just north of Arabia, took that pretty much entirely over. And we have Russia taking on the AI up here. So it does seem like we now have reached a point where the what we might call the mega coalitions, the 4 major coalitions that are left, and we can see this is what I thought would happen. Sweden just took over pretty much all of Great Britain. France got a little bite there. I thought he had 2 territories. Maybe he got knocked back or traded back, or maybe he just didn't. He might have just not have been that active over there. North Canada come in late and probably a little salty about that. That's a lot of people to ferry all the way across the ocean. I mentioned that there's not going to be anything for them to gobble on. But they did go ahead. Greenland got this, and I believe Northern Canada got this. Yeah. So they got something over here, right? Not bad. Ireland and Scotland. But not much more than that. I'm sorry to say. So, yeah. All right. Yes, just kind of clicking around, seeing what the status is here. Still slightly low morale, but eventually that will repair. Boy, the Northern Coalition is looking good. Just look at all that, everything that's pink and mauve, and those are very pretty colors. They got very pretty colors in their coalition. They got good designers. They have good interior designers working for them, good admin. Anyway, that's a lot of territory. And so what appears to be happening now is the players are resting, probably trying to go ahead and allow their morale and their economy to pick up. And, I've got to think at this point in the game, they've got to be thinking there are 4 major coalitions, right? And there can be 3 winners in this game. However, one of the 4 coalitions is 5 people, which means that Sweet and Oli, if they want to win, they have to encourage the Western Central Powers to take out 1 or 2 of the other, ideally 2 of the other coalitions, so that they can be, second or third place. So it's a very interesting thing having this group of 5. And I'm not sure how loyal or, how tight this group is. I've been spending less time in the chats just because number one, it gets very, very confusing, all the different things that are going on. We don't just have the 10 group chats anymore. There's now alliance chats where we have 2 coalitions that are working together, or maybe 4 people who are working together. So there's like 3 or 4 or 5 side chats now. So I just can't keep up with all of it. So I've kind of given up with that and just kind of resigned myself to kind of watch what's happening on the map. And if somebody reaches out to me to tell me something that's going on, that's great as well. So we just have, I just look at this. The Central Powers are about to have basically this entire corner of the map. The Northern Powers are also flourishing, doing really, really well up here. And then I would say you could say the same of the Central Western Powers. If you include these 2, then that's quite the chunk there. I'm personally waiting. When is Raya Force going to take Arabia's last territory in the old world? Because Arabia still has a capital up here, his capital. I just wonder how long they're going to be allowed. I think what they might be doing is just waiting for it to rebel away, because it's so low, 3%. But the question is, who's it going to rebel to? Because Romania and Caucasus both have exactly the same popularity. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Caucasus, I think, is 71%. Clicked on the wrong button, as I always do. 78% Caucasus. And if I'm not wrong, I think exactly the same over here, 78%. So when this territory rebels, it's not if, but when. 3%, and I think it's stabilized at 3%. So even those 9 guys there, it's a roll of the dice at every day turn. I'm curious to see which way they will rebel. So I guess there's no reason to attack that, because it's going to go over to one of them anyway. Why lose popularity? Why screw up your morale or whatever? Okay, I think that's about it. Not a whole heck of a lot to say. As I mentioned, regions have stabilized. It looks like people are starting to beef up economy and some of that background stuff, as well as sort of finishing out these AI. So it looks to me like Russia's going to go ahead and expand probably and take all of this up here. So there's, I believe, 4 territories that you can take, in the backcountry. And that's not a bad idea. This is gas here, and up here, all the way up here, is iron, wood, and wheat. Yeah, why not? Oh, there's another one down here, iron again. So there's 5 territories up there. Not a bad grab on Russia's behalf. Something very similar for Caucasus, as they did down here. Took over some decent territories down here. Some building material and food, it looks like, mainly. Never hurts. And then I think this is what happened over here. I think that Morocco went ahead and traded away its mainland territory for this little island territory. So that might be the case. Not sure. I don't know what's going on with Greece. I don't know why Greece hasn't gone AI and went nuts on people. Right? What is Morocco cannot possibly have a good popularity after some of the attacks we've seen. 65, that's not terrible, actually. So that's good enough to keep an AI from attacking you. So maybe Greece is AI. I honestly don't know how to tell. If you can't look at the capital and see the little, boxes behind the guy or whatever. I don't know how to tell. Maybe somebody else can inform me how you can figure that out. Maybe just by looking at this character sheet. I just don't know. I can't tell if he's there or not. I mean, he's a player, whatever, for whatever that's worth. Okay, that's it, guys. We don't have a lot more to say because I do need to do the distance view that will be released immediately tonight, and I've got to do a cast for the game that has begun now, our tournament game. We are officially in a massive tournament, worldwide 1914 tournament. Benai and his team are in their game, and me and Raya Force and our team are in our game, and I will be casting it. I'm not going to release those publicly quite yet because the people over in the tournament do know that I'm a YouTuber, so there's the potential for somebody to come over here and sort of spy out those videos. But I will release them when I'm done because it'll be a fun study on tournament play, and really, I want to encourage people, if you like excitement, focus, intensity, tournament play is for you, and specifically alliance play that will always be working towards being in a tournament. So we just kind of got lucky that a tournament started here in November, right in time for us to be really starting to get excited about alliance play. But this is not our last tournament. We're going to keep on doing this. I even think by the time we're done with this, Benaya and I should both have teams of 8 to 10 like veteran players who know how to play and who understand tournament play and alliance play. And at some point, we can continue to sort of sharpening iron with each other, playing practice games, and really reach a high level of play. We've got the brain power, we've got the patience, we've got the intensity and the attention. So, and especially boy, we could put together a dream team of just the very most, like, there are people who get the alliance play and understand the commitment and attention, and there are people who kind of don't, and as much. And so I was trying to tell Paige has gone from this game now, I think, Great Britain. I was trying to tell Paige, like, look, you don't have to be an advanced player to play alliance play. What you have to be is you have to pay attention, which Paige clearly did. You have to communicate. We need you to communicate because that's a key element, which Paige clearly did. And you have to know how to move units around. That's about it. Because in tournament play, at least the 5v5 maps that we've been playing, it rarely goes past week 2 or 3. We just start to get cannon and then the game's over. It's an early strike, quick action game. It's done usually in 2 weeks. So you don't have to be a master of developing day 13 artillery, although that's great if you know how to do that. Being fast is good, but no, you just really have to work as a team, communicate, and be active in the game. And so anybody, again, I just want to encourage anybody who's interested in alliance play, get in touch with me and Benaya. Now is not the best time to join because we are active in a tournament, but I only mean that to say that we can't put you right to work, right? It's going to be a few months before we can get you integrated into some practice games. But it's always a good time. We can always throw you into the alliance, right? We can get you slotted into the alliance immediately. And then it'll be a while before we can get you active in it. But it's fun. It's fun stuff, I'm telling you. All right. Thanks for checking in, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.